Welcome back. You're watching the Property Show. Tying up finances to buy a house is also a critical aspect of that big decision. We've got Harshvardhan Roongta, CEO of apnapaisa.com, to untangle some finance questions for us. Harsh, thanks very much for joining in for the expert segment. All right, I'm going to welcome our first caller, Clifford D Souza, on the phone line. Hi, Clifford, go ahead.
I've been very encouraged by your property show on NDTV Profit. It's very receptive, very educative, and very positive.
Thank you, Clifford. I hope we can help you today.
Yeah, okay. Now, I have purchased a flat in Thane, Mumbai, and the total cost of the project is 61 lakhs plus.
Okay.
On my own, I have contributed about 24 lakhs. And my son Joel D'Souza, whose name is primary on the first name, has got a secured loan of 22 lakhs from the Bank of India.
All right.
And now that works out to about 47 lakhs.
Okay.
They're still falling short of 14 lakhs. It's just that my son is getting married in November, and his to-be wife is working for a multinational, and his take-home salary is about 80,000. Can her name, by virtue of her marriage, get a loan on the same house? Keeping in mind, her name is not in the agreement, one. Number two, the flat that I purchased is under construction.
All right, fair enough. I'm going to toss it across to Harsh. Harsh, what does he do?
So I think basically, will they get an additional loan? Yes, they will be able to get an additional loan. But Mr. D'Souza should remember that the additional loan will come post the marriage, post November. That is one. If Joel's wife wants tax deduction, then she will have to be a co-owner, and for that one of the D'Souzas will have to surrender or gift their share to her, on which there will be stamp duty charges. But typically they won't have a problem. Either the existing bank can give the additional loan. If the existing bank is not willing, they can shift their loan to another bank, which should be more than willing.
All right, Clifford, so problem solved. You can get your daughter-in-law's name included, and she will be eligible for that extra loan. Is the rate of the home loan going to change, Harsh? Or
so typically in this case, because it is, I don't think the rate should change, because clearly their down payment is all there. It's part of buying the house. I think they will get it at absolutely the same rate.
Fair enough. All right, let's welcome in our next caller. Dr. Satyajeet Sinha has a question. He's on the phone line with us. Dr. Sinha, go ahead, sir. How can we help you? Okay, I think we've just lost the line. Let's take his question by email. I'm sure he's tuned into the show. I wanted to buy an apartment as a holiday home in Goa, Skywater Niche Constructions, Debolim. I'm an eye doctor in Patna. The cost of the apartment is 60 lakhs. I applied for a home loan in HDFC Patna. They approved my loan but asked me to pay 25% of the total project cost at one go, and then they would release loan as per flexi payment. I requested them to ask me for 25% of only the amount I asked for loan as per the flexi payment plan. They told me Patna market is not a mature market, so HDFC asked for 25% of the total cost. Is this legal, or are there any RBI guidelines? So, Harsh, I mean 15 to 25% is a norm in India. It's only in US that they don't ask for much in terms of what the buyer has to pay. But in this country, that's the bare minimum that most banks will take.
Yes, absolutely. So I think 20% is the regulatory minimum, and it's 20% of the agreement value. I think Dr. Sinha's question was, is willing to give 25%, but for every payment that is required, 25% will be his and 75% will be the bank's. I think that's what he wants. Unfortunately, one, there are no regulations around this, and I think the general practice is that out of the entire amount, the borrower first brings up his entire down payment, and then balance payment is made by the bank. It's perfectly legal, and there are no regulations surrounding this.
I still haven't understood this question, Harsh. Is he saying that HDFC is saying every time there is, let's say you have to pay 5 lakhs now, then I pay 25%, HDFC pays 75%, another 5 lakh demand, then I pay 25 and 75. I've never seen a loan structured like that at all.
So that's what Dr. Sinha wants, but no bank to the best of my knowledge allows that. They will ask Dr. Sinha to pay up his entire contribution upfront, and then whatever disbursements are required will be paid fully by the lender.
Fair enough. Let's take this question. Vikram Jain is on the phone line. Vikram, hi, go ahead.
Yeah, hi. I'm very lucky to be on show for second time. And my question is, like, I have taken the loan from SBI, and it was around 2010. The rate of interest was 8.5%, and it got increased to 11% subsequently in 2 years.
Right.
So now the rate has been decreased to 10.10%. But for reducing it, they are asking me to give some charges to reduce the interest rate. So how do you go about that?
All right. They're also asking you for charges to reduce your interest rate?
Yes.
Okay, Harsh, again, something that I've never heard about. I mean, I've heard about the fact that banks are very quick to increase the rates, but very slow to bring down rates. But this is something new.
Well, this is a symptom of the same disease. I mean, obviously, when rates increase, his rates have got increased. He is on a spread of 1.25 or 1.3% above base rate. Post his sanctions, when the bank has needed to reduce rates, it has reduced the spread. So today it is giving it at a spread of 0.25%. People have a mistaken notion that public sector lenders don't do this. I think this example clearly proves that the public sector lenders do it as much as the private sector lenders. Unfortunately, there is no regulation surrounding this particular part. So my advice to you, please, this 20,000 rupees is a small cost to pay to shift to I think he's at 0.4% because he's got an SBI max gain, some kind of an overdraft account. I think it's a great product. Pay that 20,000 and not shift to that, because you won't get it cheaper than this from any other bank for the amount of loan that you have, and unfortunately there is nothing that you can do about the fee right now, and the only solace is in future you have only 0.4% is what the bank can discriminate against. From it will be down from the 1.25 or 1.3 that you currently are on. So I think that is the only solace. The bank can now discriminate against you only for up to 0.4. Just one bit of caution. There is news in the market that SBI is again looking to reduce rates, which they may again do by reducing the spread rather than reducing the base rate, in which case wait for 10 or 15 days. Once they have reduced that spread, then go for a transfer.
I know, and otherwise you will feel a little bit of a loser, Vikram, because again the spread will go down and you won't be able to, or at least you won't feel good about paying them again to bring down your rate. So wait 15-20 days or even not more than that. I think Harsh, 2 weeks to 4 weeks is the maximum you should wait for, and then just pay that 20,000 and bring down his rate.
I would say 2 weeks at the most.
All right. So 2 weeks is your waiting period, and after that just pay up, because your rate is not a bad one compared to the market, and a very big wake up call that it's not just the private banks who are not quick to bring down rates. Even the public sector banks do that, and charges is something that even my bank, which is a private bank, hasn't charged me. So this is the first time for me that I'm hearing to bring down rates which are automatically connected to base rate, you still have to pay up. Ravi Kumar writes in, this is an interesting question. I have come across some news articles which claim that new TDS rules have come into play with respect to real estate transactions over 50 lakhs. It also seems that the burden of the 1% TDS deducted from the total sale consideration is on the buyer. I'm in the process of buying a property which falls in this category. Can you please let me know the options I have to ensure that the builder complies to this condition? Harsh?
Well, I think he's got it the other way around. I mean, when you deduct tax at source, it is effectively like paying the person on whose behalf you deduct tax at source. So there is no way the burden is on you. If you were to pay 100 rupees to the builder, 99 rupees you pay him, and 1 rupees you pay to the government on his behalf. Unfortunately, this rule is new. There are some builders who are trying to make a fast buck and telling the buyer that this is a payment that they will have to make over and above the 100 rupees. They will get this benefit of 1 rupees when they file their income tax returns. Unfortunately, if that is the stance that the builder takes, there is very little that you can do about it, except one, not deal with that builder, or two, take legal action against him. because clearly this is payment to the government on his behalf. The liability of the borrower is to make that payment to the government and do that, make that challan and file that return with the tax department. Post that, getting the credit, automatically the builder will get the credit. So I mean, most good builders won't have a problem with this. I suspect as the dust settles down, this issue will be resolved with some with associations like CREDAI etc. probably issuing guidelines on this. As of now, things are a little uncertain, especially with the smaller builders. But my suggestion, don't go with a builder who says that you will have to pay that over and above the sale price, or if you are already stuck and you have no choice, take the legal option if the builder is insisting on that.
I know TDS means tax deducted at source, so it is really the buyer who has to keep back that tax and the builder can't be charging you for it. Roongta, thank you very much for joining in. Always a pleasure to hear your crystal clear views on all the financial aspects that our viewers write in with. Ahead of the general elections and elections in the key states like Delhi,